Good afternoon and welcome to Chatbox with Sam. Today's guests are going to introduce themselves and they've been doing a short film for the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge. Welcome to Chatbox with Sam, everyone. How are you?
Great.
Hi. Great. Hi.
Hi. So Parson first, would you like to introduce yourself? And
Oh, sure. I am Parson Brown. I am the co-producer with Team Cultural Detritus for this Easterseals Disability Film Challenge project. Our film is called RICKS Cafe. I've been working with the founder of Cultural Detritus, Carl Hansen, for several years now, as have some of the others in our team, as you'll hear about. And I'm just grateful to be here. Also, I am a Caucasian male with dark hair. I'm wearing headphones because that's how I roll, and I'm smiling as much as I can.
thank you, Parson. And Diana.
Hello, everyone. I am Diana Elizabeth Jordan. Thank you so much for having me, Sam. I was an actor on the film Rick's. With the cafe, I played the key to sunrise. I met Carl Hansen through another challenge a few years ago, and I joined the culture to try this family. It's done several legal projects with them. This is my first Easterseals Disability Film Challenge project. I am an African American woman with short curly hair. I'm wearing a blue dress with a shell necklace. And my background is my slightly unorganized office.
And I heard you were a twin as well, Diana.
It's when
There's two of you.
yes, there are two people, yes.
And Patrick.
Yeah. Hi, I am Patrick Ivison. I work in post-production professionally, and then I was the colorist for Rick's Cafe. I know Carl Hansen from previous disability film challenges, and this is my first time working on one of his films, and it was cool. And I'm white. I have long, dirty blonde hair, and then my background is my bedroom with some cat shelves up over my shoulder, and my cat was trying to crawl in front of the computer here a second ago, so we'll see if she succeeds. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
thanks for having.
We can have some cat action. There's no disclaimer here for cats or dogs. It's great. I've got Zeus by my feet. And John.
Hello, everybody. My name's John Woodruff. I'm a writer, producer, director based in Los Angeles. This is my first experience with the Disability Film Challenge. I'm good friends with Danny Gomez, who directed the film, and I'm in development on a feature film with him. So when this opportunity arose, he asked me if I would be his assistant director, and that's how I became involved in this and met Parson and all of these lovely people. White guy, little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, disheveled hair, in all of the worst of cliches, wearing all black. And in my background, I have a little bit of concept art for what will be my next feature film.
Oh, that's awesome. And you can mention about that in a moment if you'd like to. Bonnie Bell.
Hello. So I'm Bonnie. I did not work on this film, but I have been an avid supporter of Parson and Carl's teams through multiple projects. So I'm just really excited to help Samantha co-host this little interview series to try to bring some more attention to the project, to the Easterseals Disability Film Challenge, and to their particular film, Rick's Cafe. So I'm here to do that. I'm at home on my tiny little dark love seat with my long hair and my jellyfish necklace on. That's it.
And I'm the host as Chatbox with Sam, with this behind me. I'm English, Irish, Serbian. I'm human. And that's it. And here. So I'd like you to share a little bit. the challenge ends tomorrow, as I believe, I'd like the audience to go and click on the link which will be in the interview, and hit like and share. And Parson is going to share a little bit about the making of this, and everyone is going to share why they are doing this and their involvement in it. Parson.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And I will definitely, it is my job to really hammer in the point that we just really want people to click on the link and please watch the video, like it, because we're part of this challenge along with all the other. There's a lot of different prompts and things that we compete in, but another aspect of it is awareness. So the more views and likes we get on the video, it helps the whole project. So I'll be mentioning that over and over and again. But essentially, I got involved in 48-hour film festivals. This is not a 48-hour. This is not your typical. It's a short film. It does have a deadline, but Carl and Team Cultural Detritus participate in lots of 48-hour challenges. And he's got this incredible crew that's more like a family of like folks from just like all different like backgrounds and walks of life. And I didn't really know what I was getting into the first time I walked onto one of his sets, but it was just like such an awesome experience. And the whole goal for Team Cultural Detritus is to promote inclusion and diversity, specifically hiring folks with disabilities in the entertainment industry, because there is a huge, they're sorely underrepresented in that industry, and it's just a cause that really stuck with me, and Carl's passion and the of his growing and evolving crew, and the troop has just been really inspiring. So I just keep chugging along, and I don't even know how many of these films I've done with Carl. I think I've done one other Easterseals, but anytime he calls me, I gotta say yes.
So Diana, I did watch the bar scene. How did you feel working in the bar scene and who came up with the idea?
I absolutely love that. I've been an actor my whole career, and an advocate because I've had tremendous disability, cerebral palsy, and Parsons right. Specifically, people with disabilities are the largest, most intersectional minority, but we are the least represented in film and television. And oftentimes, that representation is a non-disabled artist. So when Nick Novicki founded the challenge 10 years ago, he was a person, a producer, actor, and sweetheart of a guy. His mission was to increase the visibility of talent with disabilities behind and in front of the camera. So I've done several. I've been doing them since about 2015, working with another producer, co-reader, but I met Carl. I'm like, ooh, I want to work with him too, because he's a great guy. So I've been a part of Cult Hero to try this. This is my first Easterseals disability film challenge with them. But for me, working behind the bar, what was powerful about that for me is the key to sunrise is a kick butt, take no prisoners type of character. Yeah. And as a mature woman, I'm not 30, but as a mature woman, it's really important for me to play characters that where you may notice my disability in my speech, but it's not about that. This is about a woman on a mission. She runs the bar. She's doing this spy game and messing with people's heads. And that is what I love to show. Really strong, powerful woman. Not a woman of color, as a mature woman, as a woman who has a disability, to show that strength and that complexity of humanity
Absolutely.
was really a wonderful opportunity for me.
Oh,
Can I touch on something? I wanted to add something to what Diana said. That's one of the reasons I like to support this challenge too, Diana, because Nick did start this to bring attention to actors with disabilities, because one of the statistics I recently read that was so moving, I was just looking it up again so I could tell it to you accurately, but in the 2019 Oscars, there were 61 nominees for disabled roles, and 2 of them were played by disabled actors and actresses. 2 out of 61 roles. So that means that all of those remaining roles were played by actors and actresses who were actually not disabled. And so while not every disabled actor or actress might be suited to a role, there's no explanation for that in the real world, why so many of those roles are being, filled by actors and actresses who aren't suffering or working with or getting through disabilities, or even not challenged by them, but just representing them. You mentioned Sam Dawn from before.
She lost her FYC credits, the academy, because she didn't, well, especially after COVID, she didn't have enough credits, because in the television academy you have to have so many credits. And she had a FYC and the television academy. She was able to go to all the parties and the events, and then she lost them. But now she's trying to get back in as a writer, but because she couldn't gain enough credits because she wasn't given the work. And I want people to promote and write scripts, direct scripts with people with disabilities, and cast people with disabilities for that disability, rather than a non-disabled person, because they're very talented. With human beings, they can do the job. And if you're going to write a script for that person, or for a person with that disability, then you should cast that person with that disability.
And something else that Dawn said that always stuck with me was that you don't have to also cast a disabled person to fill a disabled role. A person in a wheelchair can just as easily fill any role that is cast. It doesn't have to specify that they are or are not in a wheelchair, or using a walker or a cane, or have a speech impediment, or any kind of thing about them. If it's not specified in that role, they should also be able to fill other roles that aren't necessarily written as a disabled role. So that's something that's severely overlooked, I think, and that's another reason I think this challenge is really important for people to learn and understand that.
Yeah, Patrick.
I just want to say, I think that sometimes, something that that really kind of irks me is it's very easy to overlook or move past someone who, literally just logistics of special needs on a set, and pass by somebody, and that's just because what, if anything, that I've learned on these films is we got it together. All we need is room for a wheelchair to get through, and whatever it is, these are very simple things that,
well, yeah, even in a
that
restaurant,
shouldn't
they have
inhibit.
to have disability. They have to have they have to accommodate for disabled parking. What they've got to do is extend that.
I think
I could just as easily play the role of anybody's mother from a wheelchair as I could not in a wheelchair.
I think one of the things that's amazing about the competition, and to build on what you guys are saying, is the importance of the awareness, because a lot of the issues that I think we're seeing in Hollywood, as far as a lack of diversity, it's systemic. Unfortunately, it is a business. So even for me as a young writer, director, filmmaker, producer, I'm constantly frustrated because I can't cast my friends. I can't cast people that I went to acting class with, or that I've known for years, that I know in the project it's going to be more than just a gig for them. They have my back from a relationship perspective, and as an artist and as a human being. I have to cast names. I have to find people that are going to increase visibility, that are going to help with the marketing, that are going to bring value to the product so that I can get investors and so that I can get sales and distribution. So I think that like in this situation, it's why this is so important. The awareness, helping people to build their resume, helping filmmakers see, and sales agents and distributors and audience see that there's an entire sect of people out there that not only are qualified to do this, but are passionate, enthusiastic, talented, easy to work with, and can bring something to story that we don't have, that we need to diversify story. And so it's one of the things, and just hearing you guys talk about this, like it gets me so excited about it, because this is where it starts. Like it's not something that we can just change, like flipping a switch. Like it has to be built, it has to be constructed. And this is just such an amazing foundation in broadening that structure and bringing that awareness to people to elicit that change in the industry.
So saying that, John, can you share your experience on set when you worked on this short film?
Yeah, it was incredible. And look, like I'll admit, like I come from a place probably a bit lacking in awareness. And when I completed my first feature film, it opened up this new world to me. I met a guy by chance through my film. His name's Donald Spencer Kirby. He has cerebral palsy. And we met through the film after it was finished, and we started talking film. And he was so inspirational, like his knowledge of cinema, his perspective of cinema, his enthusiasm for cinema, that it really started to kind of like affect or make me aware of the lack of representation of people with special needs in the industry. At the same time, Danny Gomez, the director of this film, I had known him and had worked with him, and he was able-bodied. Excuse me if I don't say everything completely politically correct. I am young in this and I'm learning. But he suffered an accident and he was paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah, wow.
Seeing his strength and fortitude, like through that, the way that he was able to navigate that change in life, and his positive attitude was so inspirational. And seeing these two people, one that had an accident and one that was born this way, how it affected their worldview, their philosophy, the way they look at things, experience things, it inspired me to start to work on a film that would deal with some of these issues that hopefully could be marketable to a broad, like mainstream audience, not just a niche audience. So I started developing this, and what was amazing with this is Danny, he and I have been working on this for a couple of years, and he got a hold of me talking about this challenge, and he's like, "Hey, you should come out for it, like get some experience, work with some people."
Sorry,
in
hang
these
on.
situations.
We're getting feedback from somewhere. Sorry,
Is it
carry
okay?
on, John. I'll edit that out.
Okay. But so it was my first experience working on a set with such a diverse group of people as far as like what their abilities and needs were. And it was amazing. I mean, we had interpreters on set, and it presented like really interesting opportunities to explore blocking, like camera placement, actor placement, marks, where the interpreters go, how to give people physical cues or how to give people audible cues for different physical movements or different actions that had to play out. The time it takes to do things, like how quickly you can get set and ready to shoot, how much extra time you may or may not need. And it was just like, it was an absolutely incredible experience. And in all actuality, I mean, so much like working on a set that you would find on a regular basis that it was almost indiscernible. It was just that there were like added elements that made it more unique, and in a lot of ways, I think more creative, and made the communication like even more effective, because you do have to be aware of how you're communicating so that everyone gets the message. So it was a really incredible experience.
And Patrick,
Yeah, you become like more sensitive in a good way. And I just like I totally agree. I just also I was just thinking about, we were talking about, I guess, like normalizing having like big names and stuff. Like what I think is really cool with like the group that I've been working with, Danny, Diana, Megan, who also, and Scott Rosendale, who was the lead in this film and in several others. In just the few years that I've tagged along, I've watched all of all of their careers excel too, and like it's good to like. I think that's part of like really like the mission, um, because I walk to our team and like it's not a crew of folks with disabilities. It's a crew of badasses that are going to make that like I just know that everybody is good and they've got the passion and they've all earned their stripes.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess it's kind of like the full circle, but that's like I think that's the point.
Well, and thank you, John, for sharing that as well, because I hope it will encourage more directors and writers to go forward with this and cast people. Patrick, what was your experience?
Yeah, so I came in to this particular project later in the process. I like emailed Carl because I had done disability film challenges in the past. I have a spinal cord injury. A lot like Danny, but mine is higher up on my spine. So I'm a quadriplegic where he's a paraplegic.
Right.
Just basically means that my hands don't work. And so I've been in the industry for a while, like for I went to film school in 2012 and then have just like been here ever since. So being behind the camera, I'm distinctly not in front of the camera. Like I can do like unscripted kind of like nonfiction content in front of the camera, but acting definitely is not my forte. So trying to kind of navigate the world of production and post-production as somebody with like pretty severe physical limitations is like it's an interesting thing to do, because when I like roll up to a set and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be the PA today, it's like you can see when it's like not only the first time that somebody's like experienced that, but it's the first time they've even thought that that was like a thing where like somebody in a wheelchair can be a PA, you know? And it's like, yeah, I mean, actually, if you put stuff on my chair, I can carry like 300 pounds of stuff. Like I'm actually a really good PA.
You could probably carry more than them, actually, Patrick.
No, seriously,
Right.
there
got
was
the
one
wheels
set
to
where we
go.
had like a hard out and there was like 20 C stands left. And I was like, just literally, I'll drag it out the door. Like just
Yeah.
all on like a rug and I'll just drag it. And so it's
And yeah, and
it's
how about, hey, if I'm here and I've showed up for this, I know my own capabilities, and just let me
yeah.
shine in my own capabilities, right?
Yeah, and like I'll tell you if I can't do some, like somebody on one set wanted me to go fill up a like gasoline canister, and I was like, that's a seriously bad idea. That's like a terrible idea. I could do it,
Boom.
but like I'm
Yeah, it'd be
definitely
bad.
spilling it in the car, like 100% chance. So I didn't have to do that, and we figured out, like I
Right.
was valuable in other ways. And then like now working in post production, um, I'm a it's an interesting thing to like work in post production with a disability, because it's like arguably one of the most accessible jobs I've ever seen. Like literally, I'm at my computer and I can do
Yeah.
100% professional work, but I like there's so few people with disabilities even in that area, and I think it's just because like nobody knows. Like nobody knows to hire people, nobody knows to even like try and do it. So
Well, hopefully, I mean, it's a 10-year anniversary of Easterseals, and now more
Yeah.
and more people are becoming aware, because social media is a very powerful advertising promotional tool to use, platform, should I say.
I'd like to
So
say
would now
something.
be, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Diana, go ahead.
There's a couple of things came up. People that talk about casting and what John does from the business point of view, but the point is, you have an opportunity to become an A-lister because someone gives you an opportunity. So A-listers 10 years ago weren't A-listers. Someone gave them Austin Butler 10 years ago, 12 years ago. No one knew who we were, but someone gave Austin Butler an opportunity. And because he got that opportunity, he is now an A-lister. So it's the same type of thing. And yes, maybe you cast your lead, but rarely is there a solo. Rarely are the movies have one person. So, there are so many other roles to fill that create the image of the city or the town or the whatever that can be played diversity. And when we talk about intersection, disability and deafness intersect with all of that. But I use this as an example. The best days of my life by far, and I've said it before, were the days my two nephews were born. They by far, like, I can tear up just thinking about getting those phone calls from my mom that said, when my nephew James was born on June 5th, and when my younger nephew Jordan was born on December 9th. Those are by far, being an aunt is the best thing I do. I love it. The worst day of my life was when I went on Facebook and found out my friend Daniel had taken his own life. It was
I'm so sorry.
the worst. And I share those examples because they had nothing to do with me having cerebral palsy. They have everything to do with me living a human experience. And as an actor, that's what I want to be able to. I want to be the mom at this age who's watching her daughter get married. Because I do have friends who have disabilities who have had children. That happened for me, but I'm an actor, but I'm an aunt. I can deal with grief because I dealt with the grief, and I feel I have that skill to bring that as a trained actor to the role. And when it comes to accommodations, you have to realize the accommodations are creating equity for skilled professionals to work at their job. Giving Patrick equity is giving him what he needs to do his job. So the things that we talk about this, they're about giving equity and allowing opportunities for skilled, trained professionals to do their job. And if we're creating a world of inclusion, if our world is incredibly diverse and beautiful and messed up and wonderful, but that should, disability intersects with all of that. Deafness intersects with all of that. And I think stories that we see on screen, whether the big or the small, should reflect what our global society works at. And the challenge gives us an opportunity to see the largest minority we have in the globe more visible, and to tell. And this is great because this year is romance. And there've been so many diverse stories, LGBTQ love stories, there, Me Too, to breaking up, to older love stories, to a spy at a bar who's a little bit of wackadoo,
That's normal, isn't it? Makeup, breakup, whatever. Next. Sorry.
Exactly, because romance is a diverse journey, and I love we have 115 films on this challenge. Watch with Cafe first though, and then this let me take out Smash or Pass. That's my other one, and I think it is a really good promo because from out of respect to my other producer. But thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Diana.
This is going to be one of those times where I jump in and remind everybody to please click on our link and watch the video for Rick's Cafe. Like and share. Thank you so much.
I liked it, the bar scene. It reminded me a bit like Who Did It? That game, because it was like it had an air of mystery to it.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you guys, how did you? I know when you get these film challenge setups, you have a very limited time to script what you're going to do and then begin to execute it and somehow get that point across, get all of those prompts in there that you have to use. So what were you trying to specifically accomplish with this particular film?
Well, so this one was, correct me, I may be wrong, but it's not 4, it's 72, but we had more prep time than we normally do, which when you're used to doing 48-hour challenges a day, another hour, is like, it changes everything. We felt kind of like happy-go-lucky. But romance we knew ahead of time that it was going to be romance, which is something that I don't think, at least not on any of the ones that I've worked on in the past. So that was new. Danny was really enthusiastic about that. He was excited to work on romance. But for a couple of days, like we kind of like combed through, talked out every murder. Well, we wanted to do something kind of like murder mystery, like a spy thing along with romance. So we discussed, everything from Clue to, like we were just like we went all over the place back and forth. And our main writer, Crystal Rivers, did a fantastic job. It was like, I don't know if she just always has like a bag of ideas or if she was just working like in real time, but she was just like wham, bam, bam, like just like kept like adapting and throwing out different ideas. So even though we had a little extra time, it's still fast paced. And that's kind of like, I always say it like takes kind of a special kind of crazy to do these challenges, but it's that's what's exciting about it, is like you've got X amount of time and resources to pull it off.
Absolutely.
Well, I love what you did because Casablanca's my all-time favorite movie. So
Casablanca, yeah, that was another one that we
Yes.
obviously like.
yeah,
Obviously.
when you said it was Rick's Cafe, I was like,
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic too. So it was really good, and I hope more and more people get involved and more awareness comes out. And where can people reach you on social media, starting with Diana?
You can reach me. All my social media are at From the Heart DEJ. So it's at From the Heart DEJ. That's on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And then my website is my name, DianaElizabethJordan.com.
Diana Jordan.
DianaElizabethJordan.com.
Okay, and John, and you're all available for work, so I want everyone that are watching this.
SAG after project, give me a call. This will be over in a couple of weeks. I'm ready and willing to go.
Right, and they've all got an IMDb because I've been stalking it today. John.
I do. I need some more credits on it though. But I do have one.
Well, some reels are good. You can, the reels, put the reels up, and then people can see the body of your work. And John, how can people get hold of you and your directing? And he's an editor too. That's a big thing.
Thank you. Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at The Real John Woodruff. You can also find my website, which is John Woodruff Productions, and you can contact me through either of those. And then, of course, I'm on Facebook, which I think is just The John Woodruff or just John Woodruff.
That's awesome. And you're looking for directing, producing. Do you write, John?
Yeah, look, like in this business, it's how many irons you can keep in a fire at once. So
Right.
I have 4 features right now in various stages of development and pre-production. I have one script that's been optioned and actually just got financing. So I'm kind of waiting to see when we'll move into production with that. I've got one that is late in the scripting phase. I've got another one that's ready to go and just seeking financing. So I'm kind of pushing those, but again, always looking for something else that you could kind of add to the list and see if you can get it to work. So always willing to have a conversation. And I always like to try to help too. So if there's anything I can do as far as like offering advice or helping people avoid pitfalls that I fell into 50 times, yeah, hit me up.
There you go, John Woodruff. And he's got a John Woodruff, sorry, I'll edit that bit out. And he's got an IMDb. And Patrick.
Yeah. My social media is just my name at Patrick Ivison. I have a brand new Instagram for color work, which is just it's Patrick_Ivison_color. And I work in post-production, post-production management professionally, and kind of to circle back to the like speed at which this film was made. I'm really excited for like the film as it is now is like great, and I'm like excited with how that came out. But when we did when we made it, and I was talking with Danny, the director, he had references of like Peaky Blinders and
awesome.
other like really cool,
That's my
really
hometown.
cool aesthetics.
That's my hometown, Peaky Blinders. In
Oh,
England.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
great. Okay, that's good. So the references were really cool, and the set was incredible, and the costumes, like there's really cool visual elements to it. So I'm excited for if we get the chance to kind of open it back up and like send it to festivals as like a revamped kind of visually. So watch this version, and then we'll let you know when there's like another spruced up version.
Yeah,
but
that'd be a good short to put to the. I know my friends just got an award for shorts. That they're becoming more and more popular now. The short films,
Yeah, and you keep entering them, and they keep winning and winning and winning. This one she's talking about, it's really getting excessive.
That's incredible. That's great.
That's what I was gonna say. So many films go on to other festivals, and and it's just a great,
Yeah, very common.
Yeah, and I always have to say, these are some of the nicest people I get to work with.
Aww.
And really, it was just great.
Yeah, and it like legitimately leads to work. Like I think I think Danny's story, and forgive me if I've like missed this up, but he started off as an actor for one of the disability film challenges, and then has since gotten like very professional gigs. That were directly can be directly traced back to his involvement in like this challenge. And I know that's happened for other people as well.
And maybe
that's the best things about this.
Right, that's why Easterseals did this, because it's like we're not just gonna ask you to listen to us. We're gonna see what we can do. Look at what they can do. Human beings on set just like everybody else. Look, they created this themselves, produced it, directed it, wrote it. They did all of it. They didn't just show up with reading the sides. They read the sides for us, the script, and then showed up on set. No, they got involved in all of the aspects of that, and they did this, and that's even more to do that with a short,
Yeah, it's a great platform and a great way to showcase so many talents. And something like 500 films have been submitted now over the 10 years. It's really
Yeah.
great.
I
That's
think this
awesome.
is the largest year. There were 115 filmed this year, which I think is the biggest. And then, they have a big award ceremony at, at the Sony lot, which will be live streamed on May 4th, I believe.
May 4th, yes.
Yes.
I will be. I
Which is a
will be
great
there.
event.
Yeah.
And that is a great event. If anybody like can come to that, it's not just our team, but like all the teams together. It's always awesome.
It's live
So-
and live streamed, so you can catch it on. I think it would be 7 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay. So for the audience on May 4th at 7 o'clock Pacific time, it is an open public event, so where can they go for that? Where is it, Parson?
It's a live streamed event. The actual ceremony is in person, and that is, the ceremony itself is invitation only. The public streaming is
Right.
They can go to the YouTube live streaming. I think if they go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com and sign up for the Easterseals YouTube link, they'll be able. It may be at BST. That might be like 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
I'll get the exact link and maybe you guys could share it.
Right. Yeah, we can share the link. But yeah, for people in England, that might be early in the morning, but you can get the rerun, the recording.
It will rerun, but I will be there for the invite only because Parson's inviting me, but he just doesn't know it. He just doesn't know it yet.
Cool. Yeah, I don't really care yet, but please watch the live stream because it's a really fun event.
Right, absolutely.
The Twitter account for the Disability Film Challenge is also very prompt with, putting out links for everything and all the information that you need.
Yeah, and Facebook.
Their account.
So people can go to Facebook, Easterseals Disability Challenge. They can go to Twitter and Instagram, and there's always information there and links. They're posting the links to a lot of the video shorts, films right now. So
speaking of links,
go
ahead and click and watch our video on YouTube. Please like it, share it with your friends. Shameless.
I just wanted to ask, since we've said this many times, why are we clicking on the link? Can you just tell us that straight out right now?
So in addition to several other components of the challenge of the competition, there's also an awareness and outreach part. And so it literally is just involved in part of the overall challenge. So we're competing at the end of the day, like
those clicks and shares and likes are being
click, like, and share. Yeah, they're gonna tally those up.
And that's running through tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow, end of business Pacific time, which I guess is 5 Pacific time.
Well, this is going to be published at 5:30. I will email you the link to the YouTube. I will add the link into the body of the interview and into the body of the the back end writing and the front end writing on YouTube, and on the live chat I'll put that in there too. As I said, I've already promoted your link out in social media today to go to your video, and when this comes out at 5:30 today, we'll encourage people to go and hit like and watch it all the way through.
Thank you so much.
And how can they not anyway?
I know, right?
Thank you.
Have to figure out what happens.
Right. Well, I'd like to say, has anyone got any last words to say before we leave?
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
For joining.
Support inclusion and support including actors with deaf and disabled actors and talent in your films if you're filmmakers or TV writers. Just celebrate diversity by including the images of diverse people with disabilities and who may be deaf. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes, and I think Carl, our fearless leader, Carl Hansen, couldn't be here today, but I would be remiss if we didn't say
Yes.
he's got a line. It's hire people with disabilities.
right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Danny, and thank you, Cole, and John, Patrick, Parson, Bonnie Bell, Diana.
And
Thank
thank
you
you,
for
Sam.
being on
Sabrina.
Chatbox with Sam, creating awareness for actresses, actors, artists in the industry with disabilities.
Thank you.
Thank you.